Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Juma Mubarak. Welcome to another episode of Untold Stories. Today, we will dive into one of the most intriguing stories of the Quran from Surah Al-Kahf, the people of the cave. Found in Surah Al-Kahf, verses 9 to 26, this is a powerful story about the lessons about putting your trust in Allah and the protection that Allah grants to those who believe in Him. People of the cave were a group of young believers who lived in a time when their community was steeped in disbelief. Their tyrant king, who oppressed those who worshipped Allah, was brutal. In an act of faith, these young men refused to bow to the false idols of their people. Instead, they chose to flee for the sake of their religion. They sought refuge in a cave, trusting in Allah's protection. The Quran tells us that Allah caused them to fall into a deep sleep, but this was no ordinary slumber. In Surah Al-Kahf, verses 18 to 11, we caused them to sleep in the cave for many years. However, how long did they actually sleep? Allah informs us that they slept for 300 years with an additional 9 years, making it 309 in total, according to the lunar calendar. But a fascinating detail that the Quran emphasizes is we actually don't know how many of them there were in the cave. In the Quran, it says some say there were 3 and their dog was the 4th. Others say there were 5 and their dog was the 6th. And some say there were 7 and their dog was the 8th. However, for Muslims, we should just maintain that my Lord knows best their number. None knows them except a few. So ultimately, we don't actually know how many people were in the cave except a few people that were granted the knowledge at the time. More importantly, this verse teaches us the important lesson of while people may speculate about minor details such as number of people in the cave, it's only Allah that truly knows. And in every situation in life, we should not get caught up in minor details, and instead we should always focus on the greater message of any story. More so for this story, that's the unwavering faith of these young men. Now, in terms of when they actually woke up 309 years later, after their incredible sleep was over, the people of the cave thought they had only slept for a day or even less. They were extremely hungry and they sent one of their companions to buy food. However, when he arrived, he discovered something amazing. The town had completely transformed. The oppressive king was gone and the town had embraced the worship of Allah. And even the money was different, and hence people were able to see that somebody was bringing an old denomination that was very much ancient. The townspeople eventually realized who these men were and were amazed by the miracle that Allah had granted them. This moment of wonder became a sign for the people of the town and a reminder of Allah's power and the reward for those who have faith. Here's another interesting part. After the people of the cave passed away, a decision was made for those who had witnessed this miracle, and Allah mentions it in the Quran. Those who prevailed in the matter said, "We will surely build a masjid over them." Surah Al-Kahf, verses 21. So that's to say, eventually in that location, a mosque was built in tribute to the people of the cave, symbolizing their faith and the miracle that Allah had granted them. It served as a reminder for future generations of the power of belief and how Allah protects those who remain steadfast in their faith. So what does that mean for us today? The story of the people of the cave is a timeless reminder about trusting Allah even when the world seems against you. These young men were willing to leave everything behind to preserve their faith, and in return, Allah protected them in a miraculous way. It also teaches us the importance of focusing on the bigger picture. The exact number of the companions is very much a minute detail in the bigger picture, and instead we focus on having trust and sacrificing and protection of Allah that comes to those who believe. Thanks again for joining us on this video as we journey through the story of the people of the cave. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring Islamic stories. See you next Juma. Assalamu alaikum.